We will be launching Warbird Thunder, which is our 2-ship of SNJs momentarily. We'll get them up and airborne. Tell you a little bit more about that team as we go. Any young man or woman out there who's trying to figure out how to pay for college, drop by and talk to the recruiters there. Great opportunity to start your life, get a career, get a skill. Initially a enlisted communications repairman, eventually became a communications officer, and later I shot airplanes down with a Hawk missile, all thanks to the Ohio National Guard. So you can do all sorts of great things by stopping by and seeing them back there. I know they'd love to see you. Power comes up, the pitch land, the propellers turns, and guess what? It's showtime.
Look at that, Cody. Cody, look.
Smoke on as they come in from show right. Entering here is Warbird Thunder Airshows. These are 2 World War II era ex-Navy advanced trainers. They were designated as SNJs because they were in the Navy. The demonstration features classic aerobatic and military training maneuvers while showcasing the precision, beauty, and grace of formation aerobatics. So that loop you saw right here at Show Center, that's one of the first things you're taught. Basic aerobatics is a simple loop, but try doing it with someone 4 foot off your wing. Here the power and pitch change as a formation flying is a skilled art demanding and trust. Discipline and trust are the keys. Formation is designed to allow a group of aircraft to operate in proximity to one another with a high degree of safety. There's that distinctive flat that I was telling you about. Again, these are designated as SNJs because they were the Navy version. If it was an Army Air Corps, you'd know it as a T6. And if you're Trevor or Manfred, you'd call it a Harvard. Why? Because, well, Harvard's a school of advanced education.
All right, let's go this way.
You got another water in there.
Once again, the aircraft position each other. You got to watch Soto, the leader. There will be points in this display where they're only 3 or 4 feet apart from each other, and that's a really big propeller to be spinning that close to your aircraft. So it takes a lot of discipline and trust to fly together as a formation. As the power comes up, smoke comes on, diving in from show right. The next maneuver is part loop and part roll. Known for its elegance, this is the barrel roll. Since 1930, the barrel roll is a cornerstone of military flight training. A looping and rolling maneuver that keeps you on the same heading the whole time. These aircraft were manufactured by the North American Aviation Company in Inglewood, California. And as I said, they're designated as an SNJ because they were Navy. There were 15,500 plus of these aircraft produced. And they're commonly referred to as Texans. But most military pilots of the greatest generation received their advanced training in a Texan. And without a doubt, this aircraft played a major role in training of our pilots for both World War II and the Korean conflicts. Established. And that's the only way you know you're in the right position at the right moment in time on 3 different axes of flight. Now momentarily, they're going to change the formation into an in-trail. And that means Chris Soto is going to be right behind Chris C.T. Thomas. What's going to make this a little more difficult is the aileron roll that they're going to add to it. Again, requires incredible precision and trust, because the wing pilot is singularly focused on the lead aircraft as they come down the hill and turn that altitude into airspeed and perform this next rolling maneuver. Right about here. Pull up. Nice little opposing loop into a heart in the sky. All of our vehicles are Now we're going to sneak a listen inside the cockpit.
Back towards the runway a little. I'm at the 180. Turn in. Let's go ahead and turn in. 4. I got you. Number 500. Hey, got you. Don't worry. Come on down. Ready.
The Texan is both rugged and durable. These SNJs were made in 1942 and 1943 respectively. They're over 80 years old. They are equipped with front and rear cockpits with full pilot controls in both seats. Usually the student would sit in the front seat and the instructor in the back seat. The Texan has a maximum speed of 240 miles per hour and a gross weight of 5,300 pounds. It's powered by a 9-cylinder R1340 radial engine manufactured by Pratt & Whitney. Particularly World War II aviation buffs will recognize that that engine is almost more significant than that aircraft. The Pratt & Whitney Wasp Series design was considered revolutionary and has had received a historic engineering landmark award from the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. The propeller on that aircraft is 9 feet in diameter. When they land, you'll notice that they'll do that same tail dance that we talked about because, again, they're a tail dragger. It's hard to see over that big propeller in the front. Now, there's a couple of T6s down on the ramp that are the new version. So that's the T6 that today's Air Force and Navy are training in, where these SNJs or T6 Texans were what they trained in 80 years ago. Opportunity for you to take a look and contrast the difference between these two as Warbird Thunder comes back in trail. Listen for that big old 9-foot diameter propeller to go close to supersonic. Now, both of these gentlemen fly for a major airline. It's always kind of fun when we fly around the country to different shows and you run into an aerobatic pilot in the cockpit of your commercial jet aircraft. Kind of makes you wonder, we're going to loop on takeoff, we're going to do an aileron roll somewhere along the flight in between here and Las Vegas. Hopefully not. At least not on that Southwest Airlines flight that I always take. Here comes the last pass. From the right, smoke on. Warbird Thunder, great photo opportunity against this great sky. Catch him here on the corner where the light's really good. Right over top of the car. Left turn. Familiar logo on the wings. That's Avio. They're the local flight school. You can learn to fly just by stopping by. Avier, they're right here at your hometown airport. Learn to fly. Now we're going to see a brake to land here. Number one will turn first. After a few seconds, you'll see number two make his brake to land. And I want you all to pay attention to this, because this is exactly like merging on Highway 128 or 95. And after being in town for a week, I can see that some of y'all have problems understanding that whole merge concept. So let's watch how this works as they get ready to brake for landing. There goes number one. A couple seconds later, here comes number two, geared down, making the turn. Once they get on the ground and start taxiing back into the hot pit, they certainly won't be able to hear you in those giant cockpits with that 9-foot propeller spinning in front of them, but they would certainly appreciate a wave. And if you look to the left out here, you see 2 aircraft. The red, white, and blue of Ghost Rider Super Chipmunk taxiing out, and the red and white of the pits of Jason Flood. We're going to tell you all about Jason Flood here in just a moment. Both are going to be air starts, so we're going to get them up in the air after our Warbird Thunder SNJs taxi by. Hopefully you found some good food down there in our food truck court. We once again ask you to place any trash, water bottles, anything like that in any of our trash boxes and bins around. This airport was completely clean when we got here. We need it to be that way at the end, and we don't want our volunteers having to pick up after your lunch. So please help them out. Throw your own trash away. As my mama always used to say, you made the mess, you clean it up. Both of our SNJs are on the ground safe, taxiing by. CT in the lead, Soto coming in behind. We're going to get our Super Chipmunk and our pits airborne here for our next 2 acts.